Good YouTube, Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that what to expect season preview analysis. This time is on a team I really wanted to wait until we found out more about Jonathan Kaminga, but it seems like that won't be happening anytime soon. It looks like he might most likely take the qualifying offer, but since he still has a chance to be on this team and he still has a chance to play for this team, I'm going to count him as a Warrior and add him into this analysis, whether if he gets traded or stays with the remainder of the season, because that's what we see now and that's what we have to go off now. But the Warriors was a team that really started figuring things out after the Jimmy Butler trade. They finished the year with 48 wins and 34 losses. They've been around that range the last 4 seasons. The highest total wins that they got was 53. We knew that the dynasty took some hits. The loss of Klay Thompson, then Jordan Poole. Then obviously they ended up losing Andrew Wiggins and got a little bit of an upgrade with Jimmy Butler. They lost some other role players along the journey. And this is what they have coming into this season. They still have Steve Kerr, the genius that makes all of this works and tries to find a way to get the best out of role players by putting them in the position that they need to be in to be successful. And they have some different type of styles and different type of things that they can throw at some opponents to keep them off guard. Obviously, Jimmy really helped this team. We're going to talk about him first because he is older, 36 years old, but he still has a lot of game left in him. He was an excellent passer for them, 5.4 assists. He was an excellent play finisher also for the Warriors last year, averaging 17 points, cutting to the basket, moving without the basketball, finding cutters, finding shooters. He was just a really good fit and still a solid defensive player. He has the size, he has the athleticism, he has the IQ of how to play the game. He's been really good with Draymond Green. He did play 30 games for them last year, but you just hope that he can do that again. You want him to be healthy as much as you can, especially because this team is a little thin when it comes to talent, especially when it comes to playmakers. Draymond is getting older. He's always guarding, the best of the best, and his body is just getting taxed and totaled each and every season because it's just a lot of work to try to slow them down, especially, if you want to do it at a dominant fashion that Draymond usually does. But that's why getting Jimmy Butler really helped. And let's not act like Andrew Wiggins wasn't a good defender, because he was, for this team. He was a big reason why they won that championship a couple years ago. But this team has a lot of misses too when it comes to their role players because they still inconsistent. You look at guys like Guy Santos or Jackson Rowe or Will Richard or even a Brandon Podziemski, a guy that's more popular than those guys, but he's always, in and out. Sometimes he defends well, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he's a guy that can knock down shots, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he steps up and have an eruptive game. Sometimes he doesn't even show up. He did play 64 games last year and started 33 of them. They needed him. They wanted to keep him. They felt like he was a big piece to what they was doing. And he averaged 11 points a game, got into the double figures. He was able to crack 26 minutes in back-to-back seasons, showing you that they feel that he can be a good difference maker for them on the offensive end, especially because he did shoot 4.8 threes, which is a career high, and made 37 of them. That's respectable. And the year before that, which was his rookie one, he shot 38% from three. That's good to see. Also is a great rebounder for his position because he's a guard, and he was able to get 5 a game. And he also was a guy that kept the ball moving and made the right plays for time to time. Buddy Hield was a guy that they needed more of. They seemed that they trusted him. They seemed that they believed in him when they got him. Sometimes he let them down. Sometimes he couldn't even make shots. Sometimes he was one of the reasons why they got off to a good start and why they was able to win games, because he was able to go off. Him and B-Pod are going to have to be a little bit more consistent if they're going to find ways to win more games. They depend on them. They need them. They always kept them in games, even if they didn't shoot that well throughout the game. that's just how it goes when you have this type of roster and you have these type of guys making the money that they does. You just have to live with the results, and sometimes they can shoot themselves out of it. Sometimes they can shoot themselves in the foot, and I feel like Buddy Hield showed that a lot last year. Even though he did play all 82 games and he did start 22 of them, he was still able to get double figures and shoot well from three. By the end of the season, also was a decent free throw shooter, even though he didn't even get there that much because he was mainly trying to be a spot up shooter and a quick trigger guy. But he didn't really do much other than that. I think he did, you know, what we thought that he would, and he did do what he's getting paid for, which was to bring premium 3-point shooting. Trace Jackson Davis, you probably wanted a little bit more from him, but he's young and he's still trying to learn what they need him to do, and he's still, trying to thin out that body and also be a strong physical force in the paint. Just not the greatest leaper, not the greatest jumper sometimes. Sometimes his timing is just off. His position on the court is just off. You would think that he, would do a little bit more. And I think that that's what they really wanted from him. They didn't really get it, so they started going in a different direction. And that direction really was Quentin Post, who just came out of nowhere and became a guy that they might rely on a lot more in this season because the guy was able to shoot 40% from three on 4.3 attempts a game. He played 42 games and started 14 of them. He showed them that I can be that floor spacer, that screen setter. He put some more muscle on, put some more weight on. He's a legitimate 7-footer, can play that center position and provide spacing and movement without the basketball and screen setting and dribble handoffs, which can give them some more dimensions to their offense and also be a decent rim protector is what they hope he can be too, because he is a little bit fast and a little bit quick on his feet as a big, and that's what you want and that's what you would like to see, and that's what they have in Quentin Post, and that's why he ended up getting some starting opportunities. Like I said, Draymond Green, they just need him to continue to be a playmaker. They just need him to be a guy that can hit a three every once in a while, put the ball on the floor, make the right decision, whether if that's passing or finishing around the rim or just putting pressure on the defense to make a decision. That's what he's good at. That's what he made his name in this game offensively. And of course, he's still one of the better defenders. I feel like he declined a little bit, but he should because he's 35 years old and he's been playing a whole lot of minutes because he's been playing in the playoffs for long stretches because they made it to the finals so many times. And then he's playing a long regular season. He played 68 games, and that's around what he should be playing based off how hard he has to compete on both ends of the court, and his body is just going to be hard for him to hold up, for a longer period than that, especially if you want him healthy and available for the playoffs at his highest level. But he still was a good defender, still was one of the better ones. He understands what to do. He understands how to play without fouling. He understands how to stay in front of guys and make things difficult. That's all you can really ask from him, and he was able to do that at a high level last year, even though he's aging. You do got guys like Kevin Knox where you don't expect them to play that much. You don't even probably expect them to be on a roster if they can find somebody else. If he does, he's not going to play at all. Really, they don't really need him that much. Moses Moody was a guy that they drafted, and they felt like he'd be a good player for him. He ended up becoming that last year, 9.8 points. That was decent because he did play 74 games and started 34 of them. So when he was needed, he was able to perform. He was able to contribute. He was able to put up numbers. He's been a respectable player from the three-point line. He has shown that he can get to the free throw line from time to time because he only plays 22 minutes. That's actually a career high. So this is the type of guy they thought they would get at that position, which was number 14 in the 21 draft. And has become a guy that can be a bucket for them and a floor spacer and a guy that can handle the ball and put the ball in the basket a little bit from time to time. Not the greatest perimeter scorer, not the greatest perimeter shooter, but he does what he can do when he's out there on the court. Teron Armstrong, I don't really think he's going to play at all. Just a little bit too young, just a little bit too unproven. They have too many guys at the guard position already. I think that's going to be one of the biggest reasons that he's not going to be able to play. We got to see what they're going to do with Gary Payton II. He's still what they need sometimes because he is a competitive defender. He's very strong. He's very physical. He's very quick. He can get steals. He can get interceptions when it comes to getting timing right when it comes to picking off passes. He can get to the basket. He can make a perimeter shot from time to time. He's exactly what they want, when it comes to having versatility. And I think that, he's getting older, but he still shows his value from time to time. And then, the rest of the guys, Alex Tui, I don't really expect him to do much. Pat Spencer, I don't think he's going to have a big role on this team. He might play a little bit here and there, just be a guy that can knock down shots and try to just fit in whenever he can. He didn't play a lot of minutes last year. I don't expect that to change this year either, but it's all understandable. You rather have depth than not, and at least you can trust him to be a reliable scorer from time to time when he is out there on the court. Other than that, their big three: Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, and obviously Draymond Green is going to carry the bulk of it. But we do want to see what's going to happen with Kuminga. Kuminga has shown that he's a guy that can get you a bucket. He has shown that he can really be a guy that can be tough to stop. He's a guy that if you have the spacing out on the court, he can get to the basket, he can get to the free throw line, he can get to the paint, he can also hit shots from the perimeter. Not his greatest strength, but he has shown that he has the ability to do it from time to time. He did only shoot 30% from three, but he has some seasons where he shot better than that. And that's something that he's going to have to continue to work on and really add to his game, even if he doesn't play for Golden State next year. But I still think that he's one of the better bench players. He's one of the better performers. And the average 15 points and played 47 games and 10 of them you actually started. That's a lot of points, for a guy that's only getting 24 minutes. And that's what you want to see if he does get on the court. That's what they really need. That's why they're not really in a rush to trade him, because they want to get a good package for him. And they don't feel that they can really get that right now. So they feel that they're better off hanging on to him than letting him go. And even if he signs a qualifying offer, you're not going to get a lot for him because the salary is going to be so low that it's going to be hard to get a good return from them. They don't really need picks. They need players because they're trying to win now. And that's just a tough situation Kuminga team and the Warriors are in. We want to pay you. We want to keep you, even if we trade you in the future. But also, I got to look at what's best for me in my future, because you guys have screwed me over a little bit and you all might do it this season too. So I got to look at it in hindsight. I have to pay attention to what I'm signing. I have to pay attention to all my opportunities, because this is my career and I want it to, go the way I want to go as much as I can, which is understandable. I think there's a lot of players that's been in his position. It's very frustrating, but that's why you had to stand strong. That's why you had to keep your head up, and that's why you got to believe in yourself, because that's what got you to the NBA, and that can get you to being a great player. That can get you to making more money, and teams might try to stop it, but if it's meant, it's meant, and that's the way he has to look at it. He just has to be strong about it and let them know that they're not just going to get over him and just force him to be what they want him to be or do what they want him to do. And I like the fact that he has been strong in that mentality and that mindset, and that's what great players need and great players have. And other than that, Steph Curry, 37 years old. He's only getting older. He's still one of the best players in the league. He's still the best shooter in the league. 39% from three. He was able to be more durable. The last 2 years, 74 games in 23-24, 70 games played in 24-25, and started all of those games. Still was able to get you 24. Not a sharp decline. His efficiency has went down from the field the last couple years, because he is taking more tougher and harder shots, especially when Clay and Jordan Poole left. But he understood that that's what comes with the territory. He didn't make excuses. He went out there and played the best that he could. They probably could have made it further in the playoffs if he was healthy, because they just didn't have an answer for Steph. They just didn't know how to slow him down a lot, and that could have helped them win that series against the Timberwolves, but it wasn't really meant. But I will say, at the end of the day, I am looking forward to him to still be great. Well, I wouldn't say I'm expecting him to be great again this year. I'm expecting him to be fully prepared. I'm expecting him to really lead this team. He hasn't gave up in belief that this team can still win the championship. They felt that way last year. I think they extremely feel that way this year, once they figure out the Kuminga situation, once they get a couple more veterans that can help ease the load off Draymond, Jimmy, and Steph. And that's the whole purpose of being a role player anyway. Steph is going to shoot. He's going to close. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to attack. He's going to trust his teammates to make decisions and plays like he always has done. And I think that that's why the Warriors are still going to be one of the best teams in the NBA, even in the tough, brutal Western Conference. They've been in the Western Conference their whole career. They know what to expect. They know how to hold it down. They know how to, amp it up a little bit. They know how to push themselves. They know how to make decisions. They know how to lock up defensively. I think they have enough to where they're going to be around 50 games like they were last year. I just want to see if their body's going to hold up. I just want to see just little small things. I think they have everything that it takes to win. I think they have everything it takes to get it done. I'm not going to be surprised if they are a playoff team again, as they should be. That's just out of respect for them. But I would say, Steph, man, I do want to see him put on another show. They gonna need him to play at a high level, a top 10 player level. And we all still believe that he is. And if he's anything less than that, they might win 42, 45 games. They need Steph to be nuclear from three and from scoring perspective and closing perspective, because a lot of these other guys, they can't do what Steph can do. They can't create chaos the way he does. And when that happens, guys just get so many easy and open opportunities that it makes the team just tough to stop and tough to guard. And I don't think that this team is the greatest defensively, so they're going to have to turn it up a little bit more offensively to compensate for that. They understand it. They get it. You know, Steve Kerr is saying we're at the ending of that well, is getting ready to run dry. But you can put a little bit more water in there. You can savor that water a little bit more. You can just take a little bit at a time and in moderations. And it can go a long way for you. So it's going to be fun watching Steph try to find a way to win another championship. He has the will to be great. He has the want to be great. That's what has made him great. And it's going to be fun seeing him chase another title before his career is over. Got love for you. Got respect for you. Like I said, Jimmy Butler is fantastic. Draymond Green still showing you that he can do his thing. They have quality shooters, quality role players, and they might even get more. And even if they figure out this Kaminga thing, they still might add some more shooters and players that can help, this team at the ending of their bench. And that's something that they need. They got some guys that I wouldn't even consider playing, but that's why you pick up some more guys along the way that you can trust and believe in that can get the job done. And that's what the Warriors are trying to fill their roster with, and that's what they're trying to get done. And it should be fun and entertaining watching and keeping up with this team trying to chase that fifth ring. It might be their final one, too, because these guys get old. As I said, Steph 37, y'all. He getting closer to 40. And I know, some players in some other sports are playing into their 40s, but you want to be winning. You want to be a champion, and you want to be in that conversation. If you're not in that conversation and you're not winning it all, is it really worth coming back? Is it really worth putting in all that work? Well, you can say, the love of the game. I love what I do. I enjoy it. I love the grind, and if I grind a little bit more, that opportunity might still come from somewhere. They attract each other. They see what I can do. They see what I can still bring to the table. I still might be better than the average player. I still might be better than majority of the starters, even at my advanced age. If you accept me for who I am and accept me for what I'm about, maybe we can figure something out. So that's what the Warriors are doing. That's the mentality that they have, and they're going to be a fun, interesting team to watch. It's just crazy seeing all the guys that's not on Golden State anymore. They wanted to be the new Spurs, and now they're just down to Steph and Draymond and a bunch of guys that are still trying to win with them. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to be fun, and I really want to see how their season is going to go. So this is a team I'm really watching. So, it's something that we all care about. This is a must-watch team this year. Can they do it again? Can they figure out how to put a rabbit out the hat? That's the type of season they're going to have because there's a lot of teams in the West and a couple teams in the East that I think are better than them, but they still have to beat them. That's the hardest thing sometimes. You know what you have to do, you know what you should be doing, but you still got to execute it and get it done, unless it doesn't matter anyway. Mentalities can be like that. You can believe in one thing and do the opposite. You can do one thing and do the other too, and that could be for better or worse, and that's how it can be. Comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell to get analysis when it first comes out. And if you're new to the channel, I do conversation videos just like this about various NBA topics. I also do breakdowns with real footage of legends, current legends, rookies, and also future stars, and also do mock draft and draft coverage in general. So if you love that type of stuff, I got over 3,000 plus videos already on my channel right now that you can enjoy. Not only that, I upload videos each and every day. So if you love that type of stuff and you really need it and you're fiending for it, this team will cure that hunger and fix that void and make it disappear. Other than that, thank y'all for supporting me in the past and the present. Also, hopefully, y'all continue to support me in the future. Thank y'all for making time for me. Thank y'all for caring about what I think and what I want when I make. That's the purpose of being a content creator. I love making it. Y'all love watching it. That's a 50-50 reason why we still here and we still going strong on this channel. In 2025, been at this for over 10 plus years and still loving and enjoying it years later. And it's still a fun thing to do, and it's fun to talk to y'all and enjoy y'all company from time to time too, especially when I go live. Y'all know how that be going down. Other than that, I'm going for now. Y'all stay blessed up. Peace, and I'll see y'all hopefully later today or tomorrow for more analysis.